Hey, what's up? How's it going, guys? Max from Lightning Trees here, and super excited to share all the updates with you. It's about last week, but we thought we would share uh, all the cool news that we're developing in the meantime today instead of last week because there would be more stuff. Yeah, so everything is for you. Guys, as usual, I'd like to thank you everyone who is joining here today. Wait, I'm gonna join. I'm gonna share the link in our Telegram chat because I'm talking, and no one's listening, right? Where do I do this? There we go. There we go. Okie dokie, super cool. All right, so wait, at least one person is here already. Just waiting for a few more people to join because I literally just shared the link in the chat. Righty. Okay, let's keep going. So I have a lot of cool questions that you guys have submitted today. Well, not today, previously, of course. Well, about I know that Spencer went and sifted through all these questions, but some of the things that I'm going to be sharing with you today are going to answer some of those questions already. So, guys, those people who is what's the name of that person? Unknown, Mr. Unknown, and Paul, and a few other people that have asked their questions here. I'm just again looking through the list over here. You guys are not going to, well, you will receive, of course, your answer, but it's not in the form of the questions that you asked or answers to those questions, of course. Let me just open up those questions on a different laptop over here. So I have them over here so I can read them. It's just so it can be a little bit nicer. How's everyone doing? What's up? There's chat where you can ask questions as well, by the way, and leave comments and stuff. All right, Spencer is waking up specifically for this AMA. How cool is that? All right, guys. So have you seen the blog post that I shared with you earlier today? And if you didn't, just comment over here or here. I don't know, wherever the comment box is. If you didn't see it, if you didn't read it, because it's exactly what I'm going to talk about right now. So, as you know, and you must know because you, the community, decided to swap the token, to upgrade the token because, well, you know, all the problems with the old Live Smart contract. Spencer is asking where's the AMA. So we did exactly that. We already created the new smart contract, which is absolutely like mind-blowing. It has so many features that are absolutely fantastic, and it will solve the problems that we had with the token previously. And I described everything, helped Spencer to write that blog post. So Some of the parts that you're reading there, of course, are mine. So Spencer, sorry about this. That I edited the article while he was sleeping. Um, but anyway, so the new token, the new smart contract is much, much more awesome. And so let me see. Let me give you the link to the blog. Uh, Here in the chat so you can see it. The same is kind of like much more interactive, right? I feel like. All right, anyway. For those of you who never seen the blog, there we go. Read it, comment on it, clap, like, and do everything else. Anyway, new token. We're issuing absolutely new DApp for swapping the token. Basically, the way it's going to work, you're going to send your old Live tokens to this new smart contract, which will automatically issue the same amount of tokens and send it back to your account right away. So that's the idea. And well, everything, of course, is going to be handled within like 2 button clicks through this app that we created for you. And yeah, the new token will be totally listable on all those Uniswaps and decentralized and centralized exchanges and stuff. So yeah, cool news. So we keep pushing for our token adoption. So there's quite a bit of stuff related to that. So an unknown, Mr. Unknown, of course, was asking about that, but yeah, that's it. Another update is we are working on the new version of the website, and that work has been going on for a few weeks now, for maybe about a month. And Paul had one of the questions on the list are about the website. Like the site is pretty outdated. When are we going to update it? And so right now we have the design ready, we have the content ready, well, almost ready, and we just need to code it in. That's going to take, I don't know, a couple weeks, give or take. And the website is going to be updated. Thank you, Paul, for asking that question. And Paul is one of those people that I see on the list of people who ask questions all the time. Thank you so much, Paul. Moving on. I'm not even going to say like question number 1, 2, 3, whatever, it doesn't matter. But Paul is asking another question, very important one. He's saying, what is the plan for all of the transactions that WindingTree will need to make in the future? Are we going to be adopting level 2 solution, wait for ETH 2.0, stuff like that? So Paul, and this is exactly, Paul, why we're updating our website, right? To put more information there, to educate people. There's a whole new section about basically learning about how WindingTree works. So the idea is that the only transaction that you need on the blockchain, on the WindingTree network that we created using this technology that we created, OrgID, you only need that transaction or transactions to establish and update your identity, organizational identity on our smart contract that we created. So whenever an actual travel transaction happens, let's say someone books a hotel room or something like that, you don't need a blockchain transaction for that. Then, well, no public decentralized blockchain allows for that kind of throughput. I mean, the blockchain will be completely congested if we try to do that. But the good news is that we really don't need it. I mean, those transactions will have to go through peer-to-peer between the players, and this is exactly how it should be done. And you will see, I guess, articles and news reports and stuff like that, so that some of our advisors are cooking up right now exactly about that, about why we need peer-to-peer transactions in the travel industry. And the short, sweet answer is, well, if you go through an intermediary, and in travel, those transactions go through a variety of different intermediaries. So I don't know, it could be 5, 10, intermediaries for every transaction. Imagine, you know, the data that is rich, let's say about the offering, about the hotel room. The rich data about that room would contain information about whether it's like wheelchair accessible, uh, I don't know which floor it is on. Does it have a TV? What kind of TV does it have? What kind of bed? What kind of pillows? Like all those things that information would contain. But if an intermediary that passes that information through doesn't have its information processing system designed to pass that kind of data through, well, that data will be just obfuscated, right? So, and the information just that goes through is like, there is a hotel room. That's it. That's all you know about it. And we sort of have to deal with that right now. I mean, what kind of information do you have on I don't know, your favorite booking websites? It's not a lot. It's not a lot. Hey, there's a bed. There's a toilet. That's about it, right? But if you go peer to peer, there are only two players that are transacting. Of course, you get that all of that information, and well, it's another question whether you can consume sort of that information and display it to your users. But that could be changed pretty quickly, pretty easily if your users demand that and if your business demands that. So anyway, um, yeah, I love level two solutions, and we have been discussing with our smart contract devs the idea that maybe we should be moving to one of those L2 networks, and maybe we should allow the users of the marketplace to decide for themselves which L2 solution they should be using. So I don't know, do you want to use ZK Sync or something like that, or Arbitrum, or like any of those other things that are out there? Yeah, so let's have a drop down and allow people to use one of those, right? I've been sending an Ethereum transaction yesterday. Man, that was a lot of money. But anyway, next question is from Luca. Luca, is that the Luca I know from Italy? Okay, hey Luca, how's it going? Timeline on the version 2 white paper, guys. I have to juggle. I'll be honest with you. I am writing that white paper. So most of the thoughts and the actual text there is mine. So I have to juggle a lot of things, and like that's kind of the beta version of the paper right now. But I have like a long list of things that I want to add into that white paper, and I think it will have to coincide with uh, the token swap event, and I would even say with the critical mass of LIF tokens exchanged for LIF for the new LIF, and so that we can sort of combine uh, or package those things together and go and talk to exchanges about like, hey, we have a new token, we have a new white paper, we have new everything. So hey, how about you list us? Not It's not just about exchanges, of course. It's just about like packaging all of those meaningful events together. Um, in terms of estimates, yeah, I'm gonna say 4 to 8 weeks probably. So something about that. That's what I would expect. Actually, that's a very interesting question. You know, how quickly the community or the live holders, the community of live holders will try and exchange their old live tokens for the new ones, stuff like that. Oh, by the way, we have a vote on what's it called, Snapshot DAO, about whether we should call the new live 2 or not. So check it out. It's in the blog that I posted on our Telegram today. It's on Medium, of course. And if you just type blog.oneentry.com, you'll see it there. And if you click on the link that I just posted in the chat over here, so you'll see all of that. Michael's asking, there are many job openings on the website. How's the hiring process going? Guys, this is, I don't know what it is, what it is with the market right now. But yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while to hire, to find a good person to work with, the cultural fit, the seniority, all that stuff. But we have like at least three new people right now working with us. We have a DevOps, we have a person who is catering specifically, uh, who is hiring people. So we have an HR person now, which is amazing. Um, but yeah, we still all have to talk with these guys. But so all of those, or not all of those, but many of those positions are still open. Actually, we just hired a React developer, as far as I understand. Definitely need one more. Definitely, we need one more DevOps. And if you're reading the Evan Van Ness newsletter about Ethereum, so we have a position there. We're actually looking for an evangelist for OrgID. There's a ton of work there, really. OrgID is a super cool tag. Self-sovereign identity field is absolutely, it's blowing up right now, and there's a lot of interesting work for a capable person, I guess, in that area. There's a question from Thomas. Yeah, news about onboarding big partners. As those news will be coming out as soon as they're ready, as soon as we're ready, as soon as those big partners are ready. We will not be withholding them for no reason. So just stay tuned, okay? Um, Stefan, I like your suggestion. Stefan is saying that maybe other team members should be joining the AMA, maybe Pedro Matthews. So last time, or well, a couple times back, I had Eric, one of our advisors, joining, and we've been thinking about doing a call with one of our other advisors, Norm. We'll plan it for last week, but it was a really busy week. What can I say? So maybe next month we'll have someone else. That'd be awesome. I would love that. I would actually love to have some sort of like regular podcast or like interview type of thing, like video thing like this, maybe through Zoom call or something, like a really an honest conversation between two professionals. Because like all of these advisors and our team members, of course, they're very knowledgeable in terms of travel space, blockchain space, and I would love an honest and open conversation about the state of technology, about how travel tech people specifically, perceive these new technologies that are out there that we're developing. That would be awesome. So, Stefan, yeah, definitely, that's a thought that we had not once but multiple times. From Stefan, there's a question. According to LinkedIn, Dalton Birch is the CEO of CMART. Can you please enlighten us on the CMART organization, how it's linked to the Winding Tree founders? What's your role in CMART? So I mentioned it last time, the kind of like the idea between Winding Tree and how it's linked to CMART. I think I did talk about it on the last AMA 5 weeks ago, but here's the idea. So Winding Tree as an organization is developing open and open source technologies, right? So think Linux, right? Everything that Winding Tree creates is open source. You can, or anyone really, anyone can take that open source technology and start building stuff on top of it. And so with Winding Tree, the main problem that we're trying to solve right now is we created the tech. The tech is out there. The OrgID smart contract is out there. The marketplace is out there. It's not in the best shape, maybe, but we're working on all of those interfaces and smart contracts. And by the way, OrgID will be updated significantly very soon. But on top of that, we need usage of that technology. We need usage of the marketplace. And Winding Tree as an organization that creates just open software, is in no position to kind of build the marketplace around it, to seed the marketplace, as what we're calling it, right? So we had this idea for another organization that would be integrating those big partners, right? So we're talking about the big partner integration right now. So Simard is actually the organization that integrates those different big partners. But for Winding Tree, there is no difference, right? Because Winding Tree technology sees the onboarding of new partners, but Simard is the organization that's doing the actual work. And the reason for that is Simard is the organization that can have, so as you know, Winding Tree as an organization, as legal entity, it's in Gibraltar. And Gibraltar is not the best jurisdiction in order to have like partnerships with big companies, with big corporations and stuff. So there's another company that's called Simmer that we also formed, but that company is tasked specifically with integrations of those big partners. And Don Birch, as Stefan noticed, of course, he's been our advisor for a long time, for about 4 years, I would say, maybe even more, 5 years. I met Don way back when in San Francisco, in Silicon Valley, and he's been this. He's a first of all, he's a travel veteran. He sold, and I guess you can look him up on the interwebs. You can look him up on LinkedIn. He sold companies to Amadeus, which is one of the biggest companies right now in the travel space. Like, he knows his stuff, right? And he's been very, very supportive for all of these years about the vision. He supported the vision of the Winding Tree, and he was actually one of the people who actually would go and do stuff for us, right? And we decided that Simard, as an organization, could not be led more successfully by anyone by Don. So Don is taking the lead in terms of integrating big players into the Winding Tree marketplace, but again, through this other organization that's called Simard. Ink is asking, in terms of a roadmap, where are the milestones and dates by which you hope to accomplish them? So I bring those items all the time, of course. So what are the things that are on our roadmap? Of course, it's one of those big organizations, actually integrated into the marketplace and using the marketplace. It's the progress with the token. So, I mean, major milestone, token swap right now, or the exchange of the old Live token for the new one. Super excited for finalizing that milestone, for reaching that milestone. And of course, these conversations with exchanges, and Spencer is actually doing a lot of work on that front. And from Spencer, I hear the feedback that, well, with conversations with those exchanges, well, we have to have a usable token. Okay, so this is the first milestone that we have to reach first, and then all of those conversations with exchanges that we have are going to go much faster. Spencer, by the way, in terms of the latest and greatest on conversations with those exchanges, just feel free to send me a message on Telegram, and I'll just read it here. Is that okay? Yeah, work with exchanges, work on making the token a success, and work on integrating big companies and actually proving to the wider audience from the trial space that, hey, this is working technology and it's absolutely amazing. What is your plan to provide easy to comprehend visibility and communication to the community? So we have a few different ideas that we're discussing, right? So if you have seen, for example, in the blog post today, we have this snapshot DAO, which we would love to involve our community much more in terms of decision making processes. Hey, which, let's say, exchange should we target first, right? And maybe list a few different options, and lay out all of those options just absolutely honestly, like saying, hey, blah 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 exchange wants $20,000, and this other exchange they want $50,000, and this other exchange it's $100,000, and here are the terms and conditions, and just the community will just choose one, and yeah, we'll do that. So we definitely have interesting plans in terms of DAO, in terms of communication, in terms of community actually taking the lead and making those decisions for all of us. Well, I'm also part of the community as well. I'm a token holder. Um, and so, of course, we have a Telegram channel that we're planning to develop a lot in the few coming months. I know we didn't do our best, and so we had a few more people hopefully joining our team who will be working on communication. Oh, hold on, Spencer is talking to me. Yeah. Well, yeah. So communication with Spencer, who was talking to all of these exchanges, is that we really need the new token. So community, my ask for you and for all of us is let's move to the new token as soon as possible, as soon as we release the new app, and that will allow us to move much faster with all those exchanges. Because right now we're in this very weird limbo state where we cannot talk to we cannot finalize our conversations with those exchanges because our token is sort of impaired, right? That's the idea. From Andrian, do you plan to, I guess, attend more events in 2021 and 2022? If so, which ones? Well, we kind of review those events as they come, and a lot of those events I don't like. I mean, there are invitations, of course, that's sitting in my inbox to all of those crazy baller conferences where I don't know people go to and they I don't know give out Lambos as prizes and stuff. Um, right now, we really have to do a lot of work. So crypto events, I don't know. I'm not sure. We definitely will be attending more travel events, and we have a few plans on attending some of the big ones. Some of the big ones, by the way, in the travel space are Focusrite and well, a few conferences here in Europe. It really depends on who will be going there, what kind of opportunities we will have at those events. So I really cannot answer that question right now, but maybe again, whenever the event comes up, I'll be able to say, okay, so yeah, this one is great because blah, blah, blah. And therefore, we're going to go there because that's where we're going to meet those corporate partners that will eventually sign up for the marketplace. Really depends. And Andrian is asking, where is the team located? I am in Europe, and I tend to move quite a bit. But for the last few months, I am actually tending to my family back in Russia. Just some family stuff. Well, everything is okay, hopefully. And the rest of the team, it's mostly Europe, all sorts of countries in Europe, and a new team member who was in Korea but then moved to Uzbekistan. Yeah, all sorts of also people from all over the place. Super excited to have a new team member out of Malaysia. Another person, another developer is joining from Nigeria, as far as I remember. So we have our team is probably the most diverse team that you will ever meet. So have Americans, we have Europeans, we have everyone. Uh, yeah. So next question. How do you want to compete against Booking.com and with such a few team members? Well, Bob, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with just one step, right? Uh, the world is changing, Bob. It's absolutely, it's evident. We know it. We know that people in the travel space uh, more and more are coming around understanding that it cannot continue this way. We have to go decentralized. We have to go peer to peer. We have to use blockchain. We have to use all of these technologies, and that change is going to happen. And as uh, trailblazers, we will be there, and we will be, and we are ready for this companies to come to us and say, hey, we're ready to be integrated. That's literally what we're doing right now. We're just educating lots and lots of people through our kind of account development, account management processes, and just explaining to them that, okay, this is how it's going to work. This are your benefits, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it's interesting, Bob, though, like that, those questions, how do gigantic companies fail, right? So yeah, like Booking.com. But it happened before many times. I mean, look at all those historical examples, the East Indian Company and lots and lots of others. And what they say these days, the average lifespan of a Fortune 500 company, how long is that? It's like 7 years or something like that. That's it. Interesting. Uh, there's a question from Dave. Dave is saying that the person who's controlling, or the people who control the multi-sig wallet, they can upgrade the contract. Well, a few different smart contracts. Right now, well, hopefully Dave is talking about Org ID. And we will have the new token smart contract, of course, that will be controlled right now by multi-sig. Let's say our discussions today were, by the way, okay, so sorry, I'm mumbling a lot. So let's talk about two separate smart contracts. So one is the new Lyft smart contract will be upgradable. We're not going to repeat the mistakes that we've done before. So, but the upgrading process of that smart contract has to be handled by a multi-sig. Of course, it's not going to be one person. That's just too great of a risk, right? And the idea right now, so we have the snapshot DAO right now. And it would have been awesome if that contract was controlled by the community of Lyft holders. And it sort of makes sense, Lyft token, the community of Lyft holders actually takes control. And we'll develop that idea further. I think that's the ideal scenario where the community controls the contract. But right now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to have 3 team members and 3 members of the community controlling the new Lyft smart contract in a multi-sig in a scheme of 4 of 6. So basically, 4 signatures out of this total 6 people will be required to do any kind of action with the contract. So that's the idea. And then we have, of course, another smart contract, which is Org ID, which is right now controlled by us, by team members. And I describe it in the white paper. I talk about it very openly, that it's not like 100% completely decentralized right now. But of course, the idea is that the DAO will be controlling that smart contract. And the way it's going to be handled is the community of organizations that are members of the Org ID smart contract who have been verified by the community will be controlling that smart contract. And actually, we're going to have another token, which will be a completely governance token that will be controlling that. So Hope that's clear. And another question from a person who didn't want to disclose their name. How's the new tokens of Great Proxy Admin going to be secure? Ooh, this is a super technical question. I'm not sure if I am able to answer that. And this question, along with a few questions before that, were just added by Spencer. Just see him typing in the Google Doc right here. So I don't know. How about I ask one of our smart contract developers come into our Telegram chat and answer that very, very technical question. Yeah, I think that would be ideal. So I don't lie to you, and so we get an answer from a qualified person. All right, so do you have any questions? I don't see any new questions. What about the chat? The chat is saying, or someone in the chat is saying, 3-3 split. 100% of people, so basically 3 out of 3 or 4 out of 4 or 6 out of 6 schemas are very dangerous because only one person has to lose their key and goodbye, your contract is frozen forever, right? So very, very risky thing to do. 3 and 3, 3 from 3 is crazy. So, sorry, I'm gonna read through some of those questions. Yeah. And guys, so on that snapshot DAO, you can create, live holders can create proposals as well. So I'm personally very much looking forward to community members, live holders creating proposals and people voting on them without completely, in a completely decentralized way, without our control, and just like, yeah, maybe you'll have amazing, cool new ideas that we didn't even think of. And yeah, I'd love community to kind of take a lead on that. Yeah, don't quite like, there's a lot of messages and I'm trying to sift through them, and I'm kind of just looking for question marks, nothing else. Identities on the multisig will be disclosed, absolutely. When we decide who on our team and who people from the community. Actually, that's a really good question. Maybe we shouldn't, so there is no collusion, you know, so people don't get hacked. What do you guys think? Maybe that's going to be another vote from the community, because it's a risk, right? So if a hacker knows the identity of the person who is handling the multisig, then yeah, you're absolutely right. Cool. All right, guys, thank you so much. Great questions. Keep them coming. Things that I'm not going to answer today, well, there's always going to be next time. All right. Have fun, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you.